I've had RP since I was 21.
I was born with my RP actually when I was a baby and I started to walk or crawl. My parents noticed that I would trip over things.
I had no idea I had anything wrong with my eyes, actually.
I had no clue why I was different from all my friends. They could do these things and be in these things, and I just tried to be like them, and I couldn't do it.
Most people think you're either sighted or you're blind. They don't think there's anything in between. I don't like people making assumptions about me. I'd rather they know the truth, that I'm impaired through no volition of my own. Nobody ever thinks that you don't have vision out here, you know, that all you see is this.
Right.
And why should they? RP is a pretty rare disease.
In the U.S., 100,000 people are affected by retinitis pigmentosa. Worldwide, over 1 million are affected.
Everyone says when you have RP, you have tunnel vision. I have funnel vision. It's like, it's really difficult up here, but it sort of widens out there. My field of vision is 15 to 20 degrees, my central vision.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, that's legally blind. Anything less than 20 degrees is legally blind. I said, what's a normal person's central field of vision? She said 60 degrees. Okay, and you can tell if I'm like this and you're like this, obviously there's a difference.
Right. Retinitis pigmentosa is a group of diseases that affect the rods and cones in the eye.
Dr. David Boyer is an ophthalmologist who specializes in diseases of the retina and the vitreous. A graduate of Chicago Medical School, he founded Retina Vitreous Associates in Los Angeles in 1982.
There are two types of photoreceptors. There's the rods and the cones, as I said. The rods will affect your night vision, your peripheral vision. The cones are your daytime vision, your central vision, your color vision. When you look inside the eye, you end up with large areas of pigment clumping and abnormalities. The pigment isn't blocking the vision. The pigment's just a sign that you have an abnormality that's affecting the pigment epithelial layer or the receptor, photoreceptors, the rods in that area.
I was going to get in line with my groceries, and I didn't see that someone was there, and I cut in front of him, and he was really pissed off, and he started yelling at me, and I started to cry. And I started to cry because how could I say to this person, I didn't see you because I have an eye disease, and then pay for my groceries and go get in my car. There's another time in the grocery store, a woman handed me back my credit card because I'd paid with groceries with a card, and I was looking in her face and I didn't see her with the card underneath because I don't see that.
Yeah.
And she said to me, "You're so funny, you don't see your card?" And I'm like, I have an eye disease.
The retina is equivalent to the film in a camera. So your camera, in other words, when you look at people with retinitis pigmentosa, there's no abnormality that externally that you can see. They look normal. And you don't understand why they're bumping into people or can't see, because the first thing that happens is you lose your peripheral vision.
Shopping is just a nightmare.
Sometimes I watch a television show and like an award show, and people just sort of waltz out. They go down steps, you know, they go down a staircase, and they look to the person to their side, and I envy the freedom of movement that people have, because they don't have to scan. They have all the information to move gracefully and freely. I miss that, and I wish I had that.
If you can stop the cells from dying and they still function, then you essentially put the disease at bay.
The FFB, the Foundation Fighting Blindness, is totally on top of all of this stuff.
Through fundraisers such as their annual VisionWalk, shown here at UCLA, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has been raising money for research into treatments, preventions, and cures for people suffering from retinal degenerative diseases.
I am the Western Regional Director of Events, so I get to work with our entire events team from California to Texas to Florida.
I have retinitis pigmentosa, and I've been volunteering for the Foundation Fighting Blindness for it's got to be at least 7 or 8 years now.
David has a degenerative retinal disease, so we try to fundraise.
I have retinitis pigmentosa, so we got involved with the Foundation Fighting Blindness to help raise awareness and help with research.
I'm totally convinced that we will see significant treatments and therapies for RP and the retinal diseases.
We have a few treatments that have come out. There's a number of clinical trials currently taking place.
In the next few years, cures will be found for many of the degenerative diseases that are going out, and we're really close.
I am so pleased that there's so much research, because when I first found out about RP, there was just a tiny bit of research being done, and now the Foundation Fighting Blindness is just really doing tons of research that has come a long way.
I totally think in the next 20 to 30 years that's going to happen, and I think once that happens, they're going to find a way to use gene therapy and stem cell research for other diseases also. I think it's exciting.